Hello and welcome back, listeners, to the Allegendly Podcast, where me and my co-host get a mystery topic coupled with some mystery facts, and it's our job to figure out which facts are real and which facts are fake. My name is Alex, and with us always is Joe.
Feels okay to be here.
Just okay.
Yeah.
Just an okay experience. We're putting this out a day late to recover.
It was it was a long week. For future people, this is coming out a week after election 2024. So, you know, how is the apocalyptic wasteland of 2026?
A little bit of a wild ride, dude. Fucking elephant in the room. Elephant with a spray tan, apparently.
Big old. They let loose an orangutan in the White House again,
dude. Apparently, so. We got 4 more years locked in.
And if we're lucky.
Here in Arizona, Carrie Lake lost officially.
Hey, small victories.
It has to be embarrassing that a sweeping victory for Republicans across the board, and not even a little victory, like a pretty substantial victory.
Yeah, it was not fun.
And she still lost.
Yeah, she couldn't ride the coattails in.
She couldn't. And what's nuts to me is she literally is just Trump. There's nothing. She took exactly his mannerisms, what he said, how he said it, when did he said it, everything, and just copy and pasted. Like, she did not run her own campaign. Trump ran her campaign, and she still, like, Arizonians were like, well, we're gonna vote for Trump, but that Carrie Lake bitch, she's annoying, you know.
Hey man, if one thing's true, misogyny won.
You know what it is? It's like, I don't know if you remember the Deadpool video game that came out like 10 years ago. So it was before, maybe it was like 15 years ago. It was before Ryan Reynolds did the role. And Deadpool was in his heyday. Everybody was talking about him. He was everybody's favorite superhero. Comics were doing really well. Everything's great. And they're like, cool, video game. I'm super pumped. Video game comes out. And Deadpool does not stop talking in the game.
Right.
Which is true to his character.
Yeah.
But it got a really low score because people were like, he's just annoying.
Does he ever shut up?
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, I'm laughing because I'm like, you got what you asked for.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
They literally delivered a fucking annoying human being, right? And that's who he is. And like, it's like people don't know what they want, and then they don't like it when they get what they ask for. So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah,
so we're stuck 4 years. Make the best of a bad situation. I do know Allegendly Podcast will be here to brighten your day.
Until they lock us up for being lefties, we'll be here every week.
Dude, I'm gonna point you out immediately.
I would expect nothing less from a fucking Arizonian.
I have to. Shit. Gotta survive, man. You know, fucking A. I'll be like, this guy.
I remember years ago. Like, I think this is back when Trump won 2016, right? There was like this joke, thing going around. This joke country called Cascadia, where it was just Washington, Oregon, and California seceded. And we all went, ha 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 ha. I'm on board now.
Yeah.
Like, I think looking at the states that pulled their weight, we can just fuck off. Like, we clearly want other things than the rest of the country.
Dude, Dems just didn't show. They just didn't show. Like, they were asleep at the wheel. They lost a lot of ground with minority groups, which was particularly odd to me, but hey, that's the way it is. So, you know, it is what it is. I do know that the rich are going to get pretty good tax breaks. So I don't think too many rich Dems are too upset right now.
No.
But that's the way.
In Cascadia will welcome you with open arms.
Thank you. Well, I am a native.
You are. I think you can get grandfathered in.
I mean, just look at me.
Yeah, I think you're in. I think
would they just tug my beard at the border? They're like, give it a good yank, and they're like, he's good.
Then you got to look. Do you have 5 pieces of plaid?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I do. I fucking most of them are pajama pants. So
right. What are your views on coffee?
Yes.
Ooh, that's looking pretty good.
Yep. I'm like, what's your favorite cup of coffee? And I'm like, I like mine a little darker than you. Yeah.
The correct answer was anything fair trade.
Oh, damn it. I fucked up. I guess they're shipping me to the
I believe in single source.
They're going to ship me over to the fucking Oregon side of the house now. I wasn't good enough for California or Washington.
Yeah, like the joke about Cascadia was like, and if we have to, we'll take Idaho as well.
Oh, dude, apparently,
like just like, hey, look, we get it. We'll take those nutbags as well.
Northern Idaho is like Nazi fucking central.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
It's a lot.
I didn't know that. Like, it's got some skeletons up there. A little closet of fuck.
Yeah.
Well, to all those up there living in Northern Idaho, I do apologize. You know what? Actually, I don't apologize. You're probably living in heaven. So,
yeah,
fuck you. Yep. So, we do have a podcast today, and we have a podcast topic.
This week, I actually know the podcast topic. So.
Me too. I don't know how she titles it, but I do know the idea.
Right.
So, in honor of how shitty last week turned out for many Americans and how shitty subsequent weeks are probably going to be, we thought we would do a theme of it could always be worse. So, and I think the writer followed on the scheme of November 5ths. So people that have had worse November 5ths than we did.
Yeah. I was feeling pretty bummed out, and then you told me this idea, and I was like, all right, I'm back in this week. It was rough.
So Joe and I are going to try to be as straight-laced as possible reading some of these, and we'll see how far we can get. Because they're supposed to be horrific.
So, yeah, we're trying to get our giggles out now.
Yeah. Let's talk about politics. Let's get our giggles out now.
Project 2025.
Agenda 47.
They control the Supreme Court.
Oh my God. RFK is already trying to get rid of fluoride in the drinking water.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, that guy's going to be in charge of health stuff.
He's like, where are all the whales at?
Hey, let's hope that the worm in his brain is liberal.
Yeah. No, it's like a chimney cricket, but like a worm. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to be nice to people. He's like,
yeah, fluoride helps prevent tooth decay.
All right, so let's get to the actual, like, the main title of the podcast topic. So today's topic is we already explained it. So today's podcast topic is people who have had a terrible, horrible, no good November 5th in old newspapers. So, yep, we are throwing up a graphic warning for the listeners today. Like I said, the writer said it was going to be horrific because we need to go that extra mile. Because
it needs to be pretty bad to top the last one. So
yeah, our current November 5th situation is not great.
It wasn't super cool.
It wasn't great. So, all right, Joe, you ready for the giggles?
No,
Get it out.
I think this is a time to be somber.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this is a time of mourning and respectfulness.
Okay. Fact number 1. Steuben, Republican, November 5th, 1890. Noah J. Swenson was, quote, unquote, mashed to a pulp by a large engine at the Western Paving Supply Company. How did he get into the machine? Is it... Pull it together, Joe. A man was mashed, okay?
So somber affair.
Okay?
It's not funny.
Is he A, he fumbled some pie and his sleeve got caught on the machine? B, he was swatting at flies and not watching where he was going? Or was it C, he and his buddy were having a casual wrestling match in the engine room? Now, listeners, keep in mind,
Well,
one of these is real. This is how it...
Well, if I'm going to look at this with sheer cold logic, I'd have to say it's probably a wrestling match.
So him and his buddy were wrestling.
Yep. Nothing funny about that.
You think his buddy DDT'd him into a machine?
I think someone pulled out a stone cold stunner.
He tombstoned him.
He tombstoned him into the ground.
In real life?
Or I guess across the ground, really.
Yeah, into a paving supply company. What do you think he got mashed in? It's got to be like a spinning thing, right? Paving. Mashed to a pulp. Do they have like giant, what do they call them? Pedals? Pedal and mortars? Is that what they do?
No.
Yeah.
No.
They were wrestling and he fell into a pedal and mortar machine.
And someone ground him into bits. The giant from... Do you think the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk ground him into a paste?
I mean, do you think he was wrestling the Andre the Giant casually? Like, he fumbled some pie. You don't think he fumbled any pie?
Why would... Yeah. I don't think...
His sleeve got caught in the machine but after he fumbled the pie. Or he was swatting at flies.
I mean...
The swatting at flies is the most cartoonish way to go.
Did you hear about the pie?
The pie is it?
Was it just too hot?
He's like,
did he rob it off an old lady's windowsill?
Yeah, the smoke beckoned him, and then it just didn't follow through, and he fell in the machine. Yeah, he fumbled the pie. All right, well, what are we going with?
I'm going wrestling. I think him and his buddy got a little handsy.
Okay, I'm gonna wrestle with you too, and we're gonna go do this together. I'm just surprised if that's the case. His buddy didn't fall in.
Well, I think his buddy threw him in.
How close to their was his buddy and his buddy's wife? You know, like,
I think that buddy wanted some pie.
Dude, it sounds like he got a little pie, and then you know, him and his buddy wanted to rest.
He got some Wi-Fi.
He got some Wi-Fi, dude. Man is dead. Joe, a man is dead.
A man is dead. I can't do it. I was doing all right. After you got done reading the question, I was like, "Oh, I'm good."
We still have an explanation.
Oh boy.
Okay, I say we go see. I like that idea. It's definitely the most American way to go. Unless it was apple pie, then I'd have to give it to the pie.
True.
Well, no, true American.
I like to think they were wrestling over the apple pie. Ooh. I like to think his buddy said, "Fuck apple pie."
Ooh,
and he took
wait
matters
I
into
got
his
it.
own
Ready?
hands.
Ready? So, buddy's holding a fork. A fly lands on it. His other buddy swats it, right? Fumbles the pie. They get mad. They start wrestling, and then the guy's shirt gets caught in the machine, and he gets pasted. It's all three.
Case closed.
Fuck, I just Sherlock Holmes this fact. All right, well, I say we go C, just to be safe. That seems the most rational for 1890. So, all right. Then Noah J. Swenson was mashed into a pulp, and we're going to go with C because he and a buddy were having casual wrestle in the engine room. 3, 2, 1, bam. It is C. Him and a buddy. Okay, we're casually wrestling. Okay.
No disrespect celebration here.
Yeah.
Tell you what.
Yeah, no, we got to be mournful.
Not getting ready to giggle here.
No.
Not ready to.
We got all our giggles out talking about politics. They're gone.
Gone. The funny bit of this show is over.
Yes, we emptied the giggle bag already. So, Chicago, Illinois. Noah J. Swenson was literally ground to pieces shortly after noon yesterday under the flying crank of a big engine in the plant of the Western Paving Supply Company. Shortly after noon, Henry Lundstad went into the engine room on an errand. He had been for some time a friendly rivalry as to which was the best wrestler. So him and came in, and I mean that's normal. That's normal.
Yep.
Right.
Nothing out of the ordinary here.
As soon as they saw each other, they began to banter for a wrestle. Honestly, this is kind of starting out.
They just entered the ring.
You
gotta.
I want them to enter like WWE too.
That was like this is it, man. You're taunting your competition.
Already big entrances. In a moment, the two men were struggling over the slippery floor, trying their strength and skill. So intent were both men on the outcome of the match that neither saw the big engine as they staggered across the slippery floor toward it, locked in each other's embrace. Suddenly, Swenson placed both hands on London's shoulders and by a Herculean effort of strength freed him from the crushing embrace of his opponent's arms. Fatal slip of the foot. Lundstad rallied in a moment. Okay, wait a minute. Can I make a comment real quick?
Yeah, as long as it's a respectful one.
Who saw this? Like, is this? I feel like we're reading this from a third party perspective, and so it feels like there's other people kind of like betting on this. They're like laughing and betting, and
God.
I think there was a third party that was betting, or probably multiple, and nobody thought to say, "Look out! There's an engine behind you."
The Herculean effort was a turn of phrase there.
Yeah, I mean, would Lundstad really say that through a Herculean effort he threw my arms at him?
The officer. I'm just reporting probably what he said. Nothing funny about it. Officer. No. With quiet restraint and her Herculean effort, I tore my arms free of his very strong embrace. For the police report. Let it be known.
It says
that it took a Herculean effort, and only by one slip of the foot did he get mashed into bits.
There's more too. Wait,
of course.
Lundstad rallied, so you rallied,
and
in a moment, jumped at his antagonist to renew the attack. Swenson wheeled, his foot slipped in the oil and grease, and he pitched forward towards the swiftly revolving crank. The huge piece of iron hit him with a crushing blow in the head and was thrown violently into the pit beneath the machinery. Swenson screamed with agony and fear as he saw the deadly crank shooting down with terrific momentum to tear him to pieces. He made one feeble effort to escape, but quicker than a flash, it was on him, crushing his bones like glass.
This is why you need a referee.
Oh my God. There's like 5 more paragraphs about how this guy died. You ready?
Good Lord.
Horrible work of the crank. Horrified at the fearful predicament of his friend, Londonstad jumped to his side and tried to pull him out of the pit, but the crank came down again and again, tearing and grinding poor Swenson's vitals at every revolution. In a moment, the body was shapeless, unrecognizable mass of torn flesh and broken bone. Londonstad cried for assistance, and the engineer ran in and stopped the bloody work of the engine by shutting off steam. In a few minutes, the room was filled by curious working men, who crowded around the death pit to look at the mangled body. Just got to shut off the steam.
Look, see what you want? It's how he would have wanted to go.
That's was in his will.
Everybody knew how seriously he took wrestling. He didn't hold a grudge.
He's gonna live wrestling. He's like, there's 2 things. I live wrestling and making cement. I want to die doing both.
Mm-hmm. That's why he never mopped the floor. He liked the slippery.
Do you think that they just like mix the cement in with the body parts and now he's just like statue somewhere?
You wouldn't want it to go to waste.
Oh, the open casket's just a solid block of cement. It's like a big old rock. He is the tombstone now.
I think that would just be the most respectful way to do that. Earth to earth, ashes to ashes, concrete to tombstone.
Here lies Londonstad. That's it. Oh, God. Okay, so
Father,
sickening.
Husband, mashed.
Father, husband. Block of concrete. 2 sickening for strong men. There's more.
Good Lord.
The sight was so shocking that several of the men fainted and had to be carried out into the yard. The wall just beyond the pit was bespattered with Swenson's lifeblood. On the floor were shreds of flesh which had been torn from his body. The intestines had been forced through the dead man's back. The brains were scattered over the pit, and his skull was crushed to 1,000 pieces. Every shred of flesh and every piece of bone was carefully picked up and placed beside the bloody mass. That lie on the stretcher. Okay.
This poor man. This poor man.
Put it on a fucking stretcher. It's like a pile of Legos. Just reminds me of that Simpsons where Krusty he gets knocked into the wood chipper by Homer. And he's just like a pile of guts with a head with Krusty's head.
Yeah.
Homer tries to resuscitate him by squeezing his heart, and he closes his eyes. Okay. Then the whole was carried out to the wagon and taken to the morgue. Rest in peace, Noah Swenson, who just wanted a little wrestling action in the engine room and paid the ultimate price.
What do you think the cause of death was?
It was man's greed. Greed to always wrestle.
Yeah.
It was his pride. Pride begetteth the fall. Yeah, it was pride. If he wasn't proud about how good of a wrestler he was, this would never have happened.
If he just took a dive.
He took the wrong dive. Yeah. You take the right and dive. Okay, wait. Can we fucking pump the brakes for a second here? Like, how stupid you have to be? This is the epitome of like dudes. This is a bro thing to do. You walk in. I guarantee you, one of them was just not wanting to do it. He's like, I don't want to. This floor is slippery. One had to be the more rational party, and the other one's like, come on, slapping him in the face. Let's wrestle. So they wrestled.
What you a concrete man or not? How dare you? I was born concrete.
My blood, sweat, and tears goes into this.
Look, I'd sooner see my intestines shoot out my back before you call me not a concrete man.
If you look around this room, it's almost as though it's being splattered with my life blood every day.
You're gonna have to drag me out on a stretcher to get me out of this concrete.
Did they pile his parts on a stretcher?
Did they not have a bucket?
I don't know. I mean, I guess like you're just in shock and you don't know what to do. So you just gather his things.
Who brought the stretcher?
That's what
like
just like, I guess this is what we do. Bring the stretcher.
It's just they fold it up and it's just one of those rucksacks that you carry on a stick.
Take it to the morgue. He needs to be laid to rest.
Tied up your handkerchief. And just
oh shit! Give it to the nearest hobo.
All right,
that's what he would have wanted. He wanted to travel, so
he always wanted to travel.
This guy died a Final Destination style death.
That was not.
Yeah.
Well, we got the question right, but I guess we failed
We did.
The crack. You know,
we failed it.
Cool,
but we won in the question. We failed at life.
So,
are you getting the giggles out, Joe?
Oh, they're out. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
I have no more giggles.
Good. Because
just as a reminder to everybody, out of respect.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is not a comedy podcast.
This is not right now.
No. This is just a regular informational, educational podcast.
Yep. It is not funny that a man puddinged himself because of a wrestling match. It's not funny. Or as the Scots would call him, he's Magus. It's man haggis.
The explanation of it, that's what got, I'm like, I got what you're doing. Like,
okay. All right. We got another one. We have a bunch of these, so they're great. All right. So he had I would say he probably had a worse November 5th than we did.
Personally.
I mean, as far as November 5th
to one person, I doubt a other person had a worse November 5th.
I mean, I'm sure there are bad November 5ths out there right now, but for us, we're not, split dude soup,
I'm still in a shape.
A recognizable shape at that.
I'm in a recognizable shape.
Yep. So your intestines aren't blown through your back. Yes. They are currently residing in your body. Yeah.
They are where doctors have called where they're supposed to be.
Yes. Medical term.
Mm-hmm. I am I am a person you can put directly onto a stretcher.
Yeah. And you would need it.
In one piece.
It would be appropriate to put you on a stretcher if you needed to go.
I could just voluntarily get on one.
Yep. Definitely. But, you wouldn't have to be pieced together there.
I would not have to be,
jigsawed.
I would not be an erector set of a person.
You Legoed onto the stretcher. Okay. Fact All right, well, should I say day number 2? The Journal, Logan, Utah, November 5th, 1892. A pair of New York explorers went to Utah to see some Native American cliff dwellings in 9 Mile Canyon. They were riding pack mules, and the trail was rocky and narrow. Pretty standard.
So far, so good.
Yep. Easy. Yeah. Suddenly,
honestly, sounds like a pretty good November fizz.
Well, the next part is a suddenly, so we'll see how that goes.
I mean, I don't want to bury the lead. I'm just saying, probably up to this point, pretty good.
So, oh, God. Suddenly, one of the mules slipped and sent them tumbling down the cliff face. The mule was dashed to pieces, but the man miraculously landed on a rock ledge, injured but alive. How did he die?
Oh, well, I'm not gonna lie. I was hoping for a positive turn on that, but I guess it is worse November 5th.
Well, there is confirmed the donkey was dashed, so R.I.P. donkey. However, the man did die. How did he die? Did he get A pair of mountain goats headbutted him off the ledge? Totally serious.
Bad.
Yeah, that's bad. That's bad. Happens quite a bit.
Not uncommon.
No, it's very. You don't land in front of them. Don't get butted. Oop. A pair of rattlesnakes slithered towards him until he backed off the ledge.
You know?
Or C, a pair of eagles guarding a nest clawed and pecked at him until he fell off the ledge. Fuck. One of these is real.
Well, haven't seen the movie The Witch, or The Vavitch, if you will.
The Vavitch? Yeah.
I can tell you that those goats, pretty diabolical. So,
well,
I think I'm going to have to go with goat.
Damn. You got a pure Satan goat on right now.
Look, praying to the Lord didn't work, so.
Hey, we still got to wait some time. You don't know. Some weird shit could happen. I mean, we could be the guy on the ledge right now.
That means we would have time traveled,
Well, I'm saying, like, just metaphorically, we're the guy on the ledge.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we get headbutted off by goats.
Sure. Hey.
Let's go goats. I like that.
Hey, look, they were on a mountain. Goats lives on a mountain.
I feel like rattlesnakes, so if you're a traveler, right? Like a experienced traveler, an explorer. It describes this person as an explorer. You should know what a snake looks like when it's about to strike. Right, so you wouldn't back off the ledge. I feel like,
also,
like if it's slithering at you,
a pair of snakes. Like snakes are pretty solitary. I feel.
Yeah, but then a pair of eagles guarding a nest. That's like some fucking Chris Farley shit right there.
That is from America's Finest or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah,
Founding Fathers or whatever it's called.
Almost Heroes.
Almost Heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, where he's just like, oh my freaking gourd!
That is how he sounded.
Do you think this is what happened to him? I mean, this is a very serious conversation.
Yeah. Do I think that's what actually happened to Chris Farley?
No, this guy. Do you think if he was clawed,
I'm fully on Mountain Goat.
If you were a bystander standing out, seeing this guy, right, took a tumble, pack mule got dashed, he lands on the cliff face. If you saw him get attacked by eagles, there's really nothing you can do. You're just watching as a bystander.
Yeah.
Serious question, Joe. Would you not laugh at first? Or would you just be like, oh my God, somebody help this man?
Yeah. Well, I think I'd probably be like, oh my freaking gourd!
Oh my freaking...
First, and then, but... Like, as a serious person,
he's just like, and then he falls. You're telling me?
So yeah.
I mean, those eagles. Have you seen the eagles throw the goats off the edge?
I have. Yeah. So I'm just saying the goats probably deserved it. So
I think I want to go with the mount. I want to go with the goat. I think that's too fucking funny.
I feel they're already on a mountain.
I think it's either that or the eagles clawed him and pulled him off the edge. Like,
it could have happened too.
But I mean, the rattlesnake, it's just so dumb that maybe. Like, these are all...
and also, he's injured. We don't know how bad, but...
Nature
I feel like you could get, Yeah. Trying to stop a goat while injured, I feel, is the hardest one. You could probably stop a couple of snakes.
I mean, nature wanted this guy dead, right? Like, what did he do?
I mean, clearly the pack mule sacrificed himself to try to kill this guy. So
the pack mule just knew. He took a dive too. A lot of guys taking dives on this one.
A lot of dive taking.
Yes,
on this one.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. Mountain goats. Pair of them. There's two mountain goats. Just fuck this guy. Boom. You wouldn't laugh here. I'd laugh my ass off. Maybe I'm a bad person. I want to see the mountain goats just start off by hitting both the mule and the dude. Just.
Do you think that's how it?
They just pissed off a family of goats. Just ran them off the cliff, I guess.
You think the mule initially survived, and the goats finished it off?
Maybe. It's dashed. Feels like I'm alive.
They dashed him.
All right, well then let's go. That a pair of mountain goats headbutted him off the ledge. As to how this New York explorer died while in 9 Miles Canyon in Utah. 3, 2, 1, bam. Oh shit, no, it's C. A pair of eagles guarding a nest clawed and pecked at him until he fell off. So they Chris Farley'd him.
He got Chris Farley.
Yeah.
Shit,
and
man.
That's probably where it came from.
Almost heroes. Almost true. Who knew?
Almost true. Well, it says here, that's basically the entire story. So here's a bonus story about an electrified horse. So here's a bonus story. Buffalo Courier Express. We have to bring it together, Joe. Tighten up.
This is just how I look.
Yeah, me too.
All the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me just wipe my whole face.
Buffalo Courier Express, November 5th, 1889. The Blue Flame of Death. A horse roasted to death by
I thought I was prepared. I wasn't prepared. Oh man, like that mule got dashed on the sidewalk. Nothing. Nope. Dry.
The
blue flame of death.
A horse roasted death by electricity, and two men
roasted
and two men were severely shocked. Joe, this is no laughing matter. Severely. New York. An electric light current this morning roasted a horse to death, threw the driver to the street, and knocked a police sergeant senseless. The deadly current was carried to its victims through a telephone wire. A pole carrying numberless wires stands on 4th Avenue and 28th Street. About 4 o'clock this morning, one of the wires fell to the street and formed a loop across the down track of the 4th Avenue Railroad. Soon after it fell, Thomas Whelan driver of a delivery wagon came along. The horse stepped on the wire and instantly came to a halt, and then sprang aside and fell. The jolt to the vehicle threw Whalen to the street, and when he arose, he received a shock which threw him prostrate into the gutter. Regaining his feet again, the driver undertook to raise the horse, but as soon as he touched the animal, another shock passed through him, and then completely comprehended the cause. He then comprehended the cause and lay still. Citizens attracted to the scene noticed flashes of blue flame emanating from the prostrate animal. The flashes came from all parts of the horse's body and smelled of burning flesh, was perceptible half a block away. Whelan was assisted to his feet, but the horse was given a wide berth. One man ran to the police station and reported the matter, and Sergeant Albert McDonald, roundsman Thomas Cassidy, hurried to the scene. They saw the horse still emanating sparks.
Then what happened?
They saw the horse still emanating sparks. Calling out the reserves, a guard was established at points sufficiently far from the roasting animal to warn all wayfarers away from the fatal spot. They made a perimeter at police.
That's good stuff.
That's good.
Yeah.
They're good for
protecting and serving.
Sergeant McDonald undertook to find the deadly wire, and in making a turn around the wagon, came into contact with it in the darkness. The wire struck him in the forehead. And
not a good spot.
And he fell to the pavement senseless, as though he'd been shot. Roundsman Cassidy went to the rescue of his stricken comrade, and then he cut a hold of the sergeant's leg, which received a shock, which compelled him to...
Was this in the current affairs section?
This is like a fucking...
What'd you say? Do you think it's in the current affairs?
No.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
You don't think it was in the current affairs?
A second effort was more successful, and soon after being carried to the sidewalk, the sergeant slowly recovered his senses. His head was covered with blood, and his brow was above his brow was the imprint of the wire. He was dazed and helpless, so that he was obliged to go home. Send him home. You deserve it. At least a couple hours before your next shift starts.
You might want to take a nap, yeah.
Yeah, go sleep.
Get a good night's sleep.
He's got a dent in his head from getting shocked by a fucking Is this where the policeman's union was invented? Like, meanwhile, the horse is still roasting, I think.
I forgot about the horse, honestly.
Okay. About 5 o'clock, up to which time the horse continued to roast slowly. It occurred to someone to send to the Manhattan Electrical Company foreman. So they told the electrical company, fucking shut it off. Foreman Knight and 2 linemen visited the scene, wearing rubber boots and gloves, and found the deadly wire on the end of which the horse's body lay. They pulled it down from the pole, and travel was resumed after the horse had been dragged off the tracks. A deep furrow was burned into the animal's back. Efforts to find the point in which the wire crossed the electrical transmitter were of no avail. Writer's note, I forgot to save this story when I first read it, and I spent hours trying to find it again because I learned that this happened a lot back then. Keyword search in newspapers, blue flame emitting horse. Returned a shocking amount of entries.
Ooh.
But she said seriously, though, like a lot.
That was a... Well, good pun.
So, yeah, there you have it. This shit happened all the time. Nothing to see here, folks. Just a horse emitting blue flames and sparks. Move it along.
We've all been there.
Yep. So this sergeant got punched in the face by electrical wire. That's fine.
Tell you what these guys needed was a good goat to just knock them out of the way.
Yeah, that's what they really need. They needed something. Like, just imagine just sitting there while this fucking horse is like
yeah. And you like creep around the corner and just take a shot to the face.
Just it's probably like
yeah.
He's like shot. But like what? So wait, because the dude, I feel like the other dude was trying to get out of it, trying to get out of work. So okay, so the first sergeant got hit, right? Mm-hmm. Shocked him, understandably. A lot of volts, dent in his head. He took a hit, but then it said another guy tried to go and retrieve him and got shocked too. That would mean that this dude is still getting shocked. I think the other guy faked it.
I think he saw an opportunity.
I'm shocked too. I gotta go home. I got shocked.
Well, I mean,
just like,
yeah, you know, it was. He got some shell shock.
He did get some shell shock. Yeah, he didn't
specify that he got electrically shocked. He was shocked at what was happening in front of him.
Do you think this is the electric slide origin story?
No.
Like the dance? Yeah, think about it.
No.
Take it back now, y'all. 1 foot this time.
Yeah, slide to the left.
Yeah, so you're trying to get around the pole. Right. Everybody drag that horse. See? Oh, fuck, dude, I'm a genius. The electric slide, everybody. We got it wrong, but we got it right for the.
This was the electric boogaloo turned that horse to glue.
This is the invention of glue. My God, he was like, it was like he was stuck to the tracks like an adhesive. Yeah. we could.
The cop's last name was Elmer. He's like, I have an idea.
The one that faked it too.
He's like, well, that's why he had to go home. He was shocked by imagination.
Ooh, Joe. He got a jolt of
inspiration.
Inspiration, yeah. Okay. Fuck. All right, Joe. Enough of this tomfoolery. Disrespecting the dead right now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was stoic through that whole last one.
You were like an oak. Okay. Fact number 3. The Oregonian, November 5th, 1892. Desperate parents trying to save their 17-year-old daughter from tuberculosis latched to the false hope given to them by a horse doctor and lamented salesman who promised them a cure. What was the cure he administered? All right, let's see. Ready?
Dark.
A, he put her on alfalfa and oats diet until he blew out her colon. B, he made her run in a circle on a lead until she sweated it out. Or C, he boiled her legs. Mm-hmm. So, do you want me to read it again?
I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a D, all the above?
I think it boiled the legs. That one sounds right.
Well, he is a horse doctor, so alfalfa would make sense.
It tracks. You're right. I concur, Joe. I concur.
I mean, it works in TV and horses. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. Alfalfa and oats diet. Did he give it to her?
Technically, she wouldn't have then died of TB.
Did he give her
She would have died of a blown colon.
Did he give her a feed bag?
And then she's
weak. She can't feed herself.
She was on one of the training ropes, just going in circles.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it makes sense. It tracks. He had all the equipment already there.
I just now put together that boiling her feet is
glue.
Is a reference to glue, because that's how you make glue. Is you boil hooves.
I want to remind the listeners that one of these did happen.
So I'm trying to think what you could sell to a parent. I think if you had an overstock of alfalfa, you could do it.
I think he did. He probably had an overstock of alfalfa and oil and oats. And he's just like, make sure she doesn't take the feeding bag off. She needs all of that. It's pure oats.
If her mouth is stuffed, she can't breathe in the bad air, which is causing her lungs to be bad.
Pure oatine is what she needs.
Mm-hmm.
I bet you he made up a word.
Do you think this is where Activia comes from?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of I say we go A.
You think A? You think the colon buster?
Yeah. Colon blow, I think, is the way to go.
The colon blow.
The colon blow.
Jamie Lee Curtis presents the colon blow.
The colon blow. A lot of bran in there.
A lot of bran in there.
Yeah. What is alfalfa? Is that like a weed?
It's like a grass.
Like, so if yeah. What are you feeling? What does Joe say?
I'm saying nay to B and C.
Yeah, I think it's great.
That's what I say.
It'd be really sad if he made her run in a circle. That's just fucked up.
Well, you can't run in a circle if you have boiled feet, so.
I think it's the alfalfa. I feel like this is that time frame when they were just like, give her this to drink, put her on the feeding bag.
It's her diet. Yeah, obviously.
All right. Well, then for fact number 3, we're going to go A. He put her on an alfalfa and oats diet until she blew out her colon. 3, 2, 1. Nope. He boiled her legs.
Oh.
Yes, I concur.
That's worse. She really had a bad November 5th.
Obviously, you need to boil her legs. Preposterous. Boil the legs.
I thought horse salesman, I didn't know he was also a glue salesman.
There's a lot. Hold on.
Oh,
ready?
Boy. Mm-hmm.
This one is called Doctored to Death. A young girl tortured by an ignorant horse doctor. Cincinnati, Ohio. A horrible case of torture came to light yesterday. For 4 months...
As opposed to the other kinds of torture.
Yep. Well, yeah. Barry Kohaki, 17 years old, has been an invalid from tropical consumption, tuberculosis. The family physician pronounced the case hopeless, but Tuesday last, Gustave Hoyer, a horse doctor and liniment peddler, put in an appearance and declared he could cure the girl. The parents consented to the treatment. He bought a peck of Timothy hayseed, which he put into a tub and steeped in boiling water. He set a small curtain in the water and stripped the girl's legs naked, placed them over the water, and covered them with a heavy blanket. The hot steam burned her, and she began screaming.
Yep. All tracks so far.
The mother and younger sister tried to get her away, but the horse doctor stood guard and forced the girl to endure the torture for half an hour. Her screams alarmed the neighbors, and an excited crowd gathered, but the doctor would take no interference. Taking her from her torture of hot steam, the doctor laid her on her bed. The skin hung from the legs in twisted strings. He bound the legs in linen bandages, drawing the rolls as tightly as he could, and took a pint bottle of horse liniment and saturated the bandages. At this, the girl's screams became terrific, but the horse doctor ordered that she stay in bed with the bandages on for 3 hours, at the end of which she would be well. The girl screamed until the mother could endure it no longer and removed the bandages. After it had been on but an hour, the strong liniment had completed what the hot steam had begun, and the legs resembled great chunks of hard-boiled meat. For 24 hours, the girl lay and moaned until morning, when she died. Her father is almost frantic and declares he will kill Hoyer, for whom a warrant has been issued charging him with manslaughter and practicing without a license. That's it. He got away.
He's a licensed horse doctor.
Well, is it licensed? I mean, maybe that's why they're mad at him. He doesn't even have that.
Like, well, you know what they say. Once your daughter gets a boiled leg, you gotta put him down.
You gotta put him down. Where was this idea?
I don't know how you think you cure breathing with boiling anything.
Something's
I don't understand how
you're story.
It comes out of the feet.
Yeah, but something's not adding up. The parents weren't like, hey, the steam is hurting, let alone the water.
Yeah.
At some point,
some hot steam, man.
I have to fucking blame the parents, right?
I think they have. Okay, so the steam burns. Maybe you're still in. Mm-hmm. The second you take a dunk into that, that's where you cut it.
So they boiled this girl alive, and she died.
To be fair, only her feet.
Yep. To be fair, every horse that he's tried it on has lived.
And I guess they didn't boil her alive. They boiled her to death.
This is blue balls too. This guy. There's no follow-up. I was hoping that they would have hung him. And that'd have been hilarious. Then I'd feel good about this story. Overall, a positive outcome, right?
This is a November 5th story.
This is a depressing November 5th story.
Yeah.
I like to make up my own ending, then. I live in my world where he got his arms boiled, because that is way funnier.
It would be ironic if he burnt his hands.
Yep, and then he put horse liniment on it. Yep.
Yeah. What is liniment?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. It apparently doesn't cure boils.
No, I think it burned her.
It didn't sound.
Well,
it didn't sound pleasant.
Said it was boiled meat when they unwrapped it.
I gotta say, it was pretty easy after a while not to laugh at that one.
Yeah, that was a sad one. There was a
turning point where even I felt bad for a teenager.
I was hoping that he was going to get some form of comeuppance, and then we could laugh at that.
I was hoping for the alfalfa, because honestly, that would have been hilarious.
Blowing out a colon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we got it wrong.
My kingdom for a horse cure.
Inappropriate, Joe.
What?
Not funny. That's not funny. So,
okay. My kingdom for a blown colon. Is that better?
It's a little
better now.
It's a little better. Fact number 4.
Don't let me stop you.
The Daily Democrat, November 5th, 1890. In Indianapolis, a young farmer named Gray asks Miss Pottinger to be his wife twice on Sunday night. And twice she rejected...
I don't like the word twice.
This is not gonna go well, because twice she rejected his advances. He took it well. They both moved on, found partners, got married, and lived happily ever after. That's it.
Why do I feel you're lying to me?
It's probably false. This is false.
Is this just a regular true or false one?
I would assume, yes. There's no multiple choice on this one. I'm going to say false, and he chopped her up.
I'm going to say false, and
he became a horse doctor and boils people's legs in revenge.
I'll say they got married, and she was forced to watch him become vice president.
The Mike Pence story. Or J.D. Vance. Hillbilly elegy over here.
Look, did J.D. Vance get denied twice? Who can say? But he certainly seems like the kind of guy that would get denied twice in one day.
Yep, on Sunday night. Yeah, I can see that. Okay, we'll say false. They didn't live happily ever after.
No.
Well, how do you think he killed her?
I think he became vice president and probably fucked a couch.
That's a good one. Or like Mike Pence had a gay rabbit. Intellectual, yes. So
that's that reference was so many crazies ago. I'd forgotten about it. I remember now when we were like, I was like, oh, I remember the simple times.
Are you seriously suggesting?
Like, I had to go back through so many scandals.
We to gauge our time on crazies.
Like, that was.
You're like,
man. Those were like the sweet, innocent crazies.
Man, you remember 2022? Not really, man. Oh, that year, that's the one where, Trump was found guilty of 34 felony counts. Oh, yeah, I remember that year.
Oh, that's right. I would remember that one better if it meant anything.
Oh, what year was that?
Remember when you flash forward to 2024 and that didn't mean anything anymore?
Hey, at least we didn't get our legs boiled.
At least. Hey, someone else had a worse November 5th.
Much worse on that one. I would take being, pudding over getting boiled like that.
Look, if I got to wrestle with my best friend and then get turned into Jell-O, it's a pretty good day compared to being...
Wrestling with your best friend?
Yeah.
Just having
before
a
I got turned into my favorite dessert.
Pretty good day. You got turned into what you live and died for.
Got to be my own tombstone. Pretty good. Pretty good.
It's a good day.
Comparatively.
Yes. Okay. Then let's go false on this one, I think. Yeah.
That was so many crazies ago, I forgot there was a question.
Yeah. And it is false. It is. We knew this was going to happen. Okay, so here's the story. He asked Miss Pottinger to be his wife for the second time that Sunday night. and she refused him. He then put one arm around her and drew her head down close to his. With the disengaged hand, he took his revolver and blew his brains out all over the young lady.
I did not see that one coming.
That is burying the lead. God. The sight and action were so horrible that the young lady lost her reason and is now demented. Her instincts were spot on. This dude was a special sort of fucked up.
That's, I did not see that. I was like, when I heard the revolver come out, I was like, oh no.
Yeah,
like,
I thought so too.
I was like, wow, this lady's life's over. Didn't see.
This man was one of the original incels.
They've always been here.
Yeah. You know what's really sad is if we had psychological services like back then, like we do now.
Mm-hmm. What are you talking about? She was determined demented. I'm sure she got fine care.
Yeah. Sent her to the finest of psych wards.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, nowadays I'd be like...
4th Avenue for a little shock treatment.
And, dude, I'd fucking come back here.
Her and the horse are fine.
They're both doing great. Full recovery.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just gotta boil the crazy away, is how he says it. His diagnosis, boil it. Next.
Either boil it or blow it. Either one of them.
I concur. Ergo, more boilings.
I, as a licensed horse doctor, concur.
Yes. Boil the horse.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor saw that horse.
Do you want to hold your health together? You gotta boil it.
Couple that boils together stays together. I think that horse doctor probably saw the one horse that was laying on the train tracks and the blue flame thing, and he's like, hey, doesn't have tuberculosis anymore.
Like, to be fair, she didn't die of tuberculosis.
She didn't.
So
I'm going to say, yeah, she won out of this one. If she would have come talk to me afterward, I would say, fuck that guy. Why do you even feel bad about this? Fuck this dude. Piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, she's now clinically demented, but
Two failed.
At least she doesn't have to be married to that guy.
That dude blew his load early.
I mean, there's a part of me that respects the like put your head here, and like,
damn. Yep. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't shoot her. That's honestly the biggest.
I was like, oh, do you think he was aiming to get both of them? Like the head move is weird. Do you think he was aiming for both of them and only got himself?
God, no way.
Right?
No way. You think he did that?
Like the head move's so weird. Like, get your head close to mine.
Oh my god!
Like it's a balloon, and you're gonna rub it. Yeah, and he just was a bad aim.
He was just like two for.
Do you think that's why she's really upset? Like, that's why I didn't marry you. Can't even aim.
Yeah. Can't even hit a target this close.
Look, point blank, you missed.
Yeah, if he can't even kill me, I was standing right next to him. How could he kill a deer and just support the family?
Guy kept trying to touch that horse and drag it home and get shocked.
He kept trying to put the horse down. He kept missing. Fucking can't even. You can't marry a guy like that.
You can't marry a guy like that, clearly.
Fucking disgusting. Well,
do you think that's why he did it? She's like, and you're a cheap shot too. And he's like, oh yeah, show you. Do you think she's just in the? You think she's in the asylum just talking shit?
I'll show you. He doesn't even know he missed.
He thinks he won.
What?
He was very His last thought on this planet was one of confidence.
Oh, the stories they're going to tell this double whammy.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't even know.
He had the best November 5th in his mind before they spilled out.
He thought he was a winner.
I'm going to put an edit point here and just say, content warning for this question. It goes places you might not want to go to. Feel free to skip to number 5.
We don't even know if number 5 is worse.
No, content warning. Number 5 could be worse.
Whew. All right, well, we got it right. Go us.
I hope there is an afterlife, and I hope he hears us just talking mad shit about him.
Dude, I hope so too.
I want him to know, he couldn't read a newspaper in the afterlife, right? But he's just sitting wherever he's sitting, he's watching, and I hope he's like, oh, they're finally talking about me and my triumph, and we're just talking mad shit.
Yeah, it's the first time he got wind.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess reading newspapers in the afterlife, it all just depends on where the exit and entrance wounds were. It blew out his eyes. He's not reading shit.
True. Yeah, if this is like a Beetlejuice afterlife, he's not reading nothing.
Yeah, that horse doctor dude's just like, yeah, boil your eyes, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. We got it. Go us. Let's go to fact number 5.
Hey, she did have a worse November 5th.
She did.
Well,
okay. Being totally serious, she might have actually, literally dodged a bullet. So, I mean, if we're lining these up.
To be fair, she did something we did not.
Yes. Yep.
She kind of dodged too. Didn't have to marry that guy, and then the literal one.
She broke up with him, and then he broke up with life.
She dodged a figurative one and a literal one that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Girl power. She did it. Good job. Good. You know what's sad? Is they were just they just wrapped up her story with yeah, she's crazy now.
Yeah. Yep.
No follow-up. Yeah, I'm waiting for the end of the article and it'll be and now is demented. Just like all women.
That's what you get for being single.
Yeah, 1890. Childless. Yep. Fucking 1890, guys. The peak of human incel. All right. Fact number 5. Bring it in. Lock it up. Patrick Kane was hard at work at a plaster plant when he came down with a terrible headache. What happened next?
Ooh. Oh boy.
His employer sent him home with pay, and he recovered from his migraine. Nah. No. Sounds fishy. Something's not right here.
That wouldn't happen today.
B, he spontaneously caught fire and no one knows why.
Was he near a horse?
It's I don't understand. All he did was touch this blue flaming horse. How'd he catch fire? Nobody will know.
Spontaneous combustion, my guy.
Somebody call the X-Files. It's a mystery.
Spontaneous horsebustion.
Or C, he was forced to work late and fell headlong into a boiling vat of lime.
I think we have our answer.
Yeah.
He turned into the Joker.
Yeah, I want to say lime. I'm going to say that. That sound right?
Yeah, I think, yeah.
All right.
On the scale of bad November 5ths, spontaneous combustion sounds pretty good. So I'm going to go with the worst one.
Yep. He was forced to work late, fell headlong into a boiling vat of lime. I'm going to say that. 3, 2, 1, bam! It is C. He was forced to work late and fell headlong into a boiling vat of lime. This article is titled...
Did he die of Lyme's disease?
That might even be better. His life burned away. Great article. Did you read the paper? Read the article. His life burned away. The man boiled in lime.
I mean, technically, did it burn away? But
terrible fate of a Chicago laborer who fell into a pit of slack lime. On the day of the accident, Patrick Kane complained of a sick headache. At the close of day's work, his employer asked him to prepare some lime for the next day's work. Kane at first declined on the plea that he was ill, but was finally persuaded to resume work. About 7 o'clock, Kane, who felt weary and tired, leaned heavily on the mixture with which he was stirring up the lime. The plank on which he stood had been thrown. Listen, all right.
Man's got to sneeze.
Oh, man's got a headache. Okay.
Yeah, it's no time to stand on a plank.
He can't be expected to place these planks appropriately across the lime pit.
Boiling lime.
Yeah. It is inappropriate to think that he could do that.
Yeah. I will say, like, he was convinced to stay late is the nicest way of saying he was threatened to be fired.
Yes. Yep. So it says here, and let this be a lesson to everybody that thinks polling regulation, like companies will continue to do this to us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Getting boiled live.
If you work at a place that has a plank, it's okay to ask for a railing.
Yeah. It's okay to call OSHA.
It's perfectly okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, until whoever isn't elected into the head of OSHA. So you got about 6 weeks.
Yeah, file your complaints now.
I would get him in soon.
So it says here, the plank on which he stood had been thrown carelessly across the corner of the box. His weight turned it over, and before he could regain his balance or utter a cry for help, he fell full length into the boiling, bubbling lime. He sank down. No part of his body escaped contact with the burning liquid except his left arm and upper part of his face. Kane was a strong man, and though half blinded by the specks of lime that flashed up from the box and suffered horribly from the mouthful of fiery liquid he had swallowed in his fatal plunge, he crawled slowly out, staggered a few paces, and then fell prostrate. God, they love prostrate in these articles. Fuck. Prostrate on the sand heap, where he was found a few minutes later by his employer. From his shoulder downward, the lime had eaten into his clothes and was slowly making its way through his flesh of the unconscious man. The soles of his boots had dropped off, and his trousers from the knee down hung in shreds as they from his slowly consuming limbs. The skin on his upper part of his right arm, which was bared to the shoulder, had been burned away. The muscle and tendons had succumbed to the destroyer. The nails of his fingers had dropped off almost immediately after coming into contact with the lime, and the hand was rightly clenched as if to conquer the maddening pain. What kind of poet is writing this?
I mean,
somebody going for a Pulitzer here. The liquid crept slowly but relentlessly through his shirt, eating its destructive way and frightfully scorching his chest and back. The man was a mass of burning flesh and lime, and when his employer found him on the sand heap, the fatal lime had effectually done its deadly work. Borland rushed for the hose and attempted to stop the progress, but deluging Kane with cold water. The despairing of the man's life, he carried the despairing of the man's life, he carried him to his buggy with the lime-eating clothing still clinging to his body and drove the injured man home. What a nice employer.
Not to the hospital. Huh.
For a week, Kane
Probably
Hubbard...
a good nap.
Yeah. He's like, sleep it off. He was like the sergeant that took the fucking electrical thing.
Yeah.
Fucking go boil your legs. You'll be fine. For a week, Kane hovered between life and death. None of the sufferers seen by Dante during his journey through the...
Wow. Really? Really, Ryder?
What's going on with this fucking writer?
Now this has turned from try not to laugh to like try not to roll your eyes.
Yeah, seriously. Fucking sigh.
Fucking, we get it. You read.
Yeah, oh, you've read a book. All right, so...
I'm going to quote Virgil.
Yeah, I'm deep. Talking about a man fucking getting eaten by lime.
Yeah. Hated Joker too.
Let's keep it together, Joe. Let's keep it together. Mm. All right, so... None of the sufferers seen by Dante during his journey through the Inferno could have endured the awful agony experienced by the dying man as the lime scorched his way through his lungs. The sears on his body and limbs were hideous enough, but all chance of recovery was destroyed by the awful raging within. Kane bore his sufferings with the fortitude of a stoic. No word of the complaint ever crossed his lips, and he showed no sign of the great agony he felt, except to lay
I have a feeling I know why.
Oh yeah, he's fucking pumped.
I don't know if how much lips he had.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I would say they just ran up and gave him cocaine and morphine, just like by the gallon.
I hope they did. I hope this man was high as a goddamn kite,
dude. Simon felt, except to lay his uninjured hand on his bosom and murmur, "My heart is burning away." The fiery fluid released him after a week's suffering.
That's too much. Too long.
He, yeah. My heart is burning away.
Do you think he said that?
No, I think he
or
sat
do you
there.
think he said, and they just,
I think he laid there like with his kids around him, and he's just like, they're like, oh, he's gonna say something. He's like, heart on fire, strong desire. I don't know the rest of the words. I can't think right now.
For real?
Well, like, okay, there's like two songs.
You're just going to make a mockery of this man? You're going to start a quote.
There's two songs.
You're going to start a quote.
With a burning heart.
This stoic hero. This man who could withstand Virgil's Inferno.
Through the strongest. He's just. As he's doing, he's writing Rocky montage music. Yeah. So, my heart is burning away.
Give me my flags and stripes shorts. Before I go.
When I die as a true American. It's just like, carry on, my wayward son.
Just like Apollo, I will see the sunrise.
I feel like one that suffered alongside Dante.
Make sure whoever writes this about that knows that I read a book.
Make sure he knows I've read Dante's Inferno.
And I'm way tougher than all those guys.
Make sure he calls me stoic.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Let it be known my right hand never unclenched.
Let him know that after I die, you'll unclench my fist, and within it shall be a piece of the Declaration of Independence. So American I am. So, well, we got it right. And we have a bonus.
Oh, good.
So, you ready for the bonus?
Yeah, let's do this. Let's close this out.
All right. Optional
correctly.
+1 bonus. Who had the worst November 5th?
Us. Sorry.
Yep, we did it.
Sorry. Jokes. No more jokes. Got it.
So, mashed by engine piston until your intestines go through your back. Lucky enough to land on a rock ledge when eagles claw your face until you fall off. Dying of TB and a man boils your legs and pours chemicals on them. Your stalker blows his brains out on you on purpose. Falling into a vat of lime takes you a week to die of your injuries because your employer's a prick. A horse became fireworks or other.
Man, never thought I'd miss the Eagles, but pretty awesome.
I have a feeling like all these are going to come back around during Trump's presidency.
Oh, RFK is already boiling legs. He already boiled his throat.
Boil the legs. It gets the fluoride out of your... Yeah.
I once saw a blue flame of a horse on 4th Avenue. I took it back home to make jerky.
I carried the horse of the blue flame back to my house. Fed it to my worm.
Funny fact, Blue Flame was the name of my first horse.
Yeah. I mean...
I picked him up on my way to Daniel's Broiler Steakhouse, where I was going to meet some friends.
I had to go back to my lime factory. Somebody fell into a vat. I had to make sure to get in his...
One time while mountain climbing, my falcons pushed a guy over the cliff.
I got nothing.
We thought it would be funny to drag him to the Green River and frame a guy.
I healed a girl by boiling her legs.
True story.
Then I fed some guy oats and alfalfa and he blew out his colon.
We dragged him to the nearest park and put 10 bicycles around it. For a laugh.
I had a tragedy. I won a wrestling match against my friend.
Never mind, I take it back. Wrestling with your best friend is the best. That's the best way to go. It's the only story that had friendship.
Just buddies.
They're just buddies. Hanging out.
Oh, so I'm going to take that bonus. We did great.
The CDC says your intestines should blow out your back.
Healthy intestines always go through your back.
It's now required to do all your workouts in jeans.
So, yeah. So we had a worse November 5th, right?
You know what?
I mean, we're like, I'm not going to tempt fate.
Not
no.
good, but
individually, no. By far, no.
Mm-hmm.
But from a nation perspective,
look, yeah, you expand it out.
Unless that horse doctor really is RFK Jr.
I was pretty sure she was a witch.
I led her around the stick until she sweated out the poison.
I still say if she hadn't had her vaccine, she would have lived. I'm not saying vaccines cause tuberculosis. I'm just saying the worm has questions.
God damn it. Oh, fuck. All right, you want to... We did it. We got 5 for 5, dude.
Hey, there, we did it.
We did it. We fucking crushed it, bro.
Never broke.
We did. Too easy.
We stayed... There you have it, people. That was... Look at this week's Allegedly podcast where we clenched our right fist and never let go. Let it be known that when the pressure was on, we showed up. We showed up.
We showed up.
Never broke. Nope. Like a man being boiled alive by lime, we never broke. Virgil couldn't conceive of 2 podcast hosts as stoic as this.
We're stoic. Dante could not withstand the temperatures
True
that
story.
These 2 hosts have.
Dante never went 5 for 5.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Some say he's still trying today. Oh, shit.
What's left to say? If you want to come back next week and each week and have a little bit better time than November 5th, then click the buttons, do the things, check it out. You know you want to, right? And we'll be here. We'll be here to give you slightly better news than the actual news every week. If you want to email us your Bloom Flame special recipes, do that at allegendly.podcast@gmail.com, where I'm sure Alex will read every single one of them.
Well.
Follow us on the TikToks at Allegendly before it's probably banned. So get on that now, because, man, we need to cash in. You know what I'm talking about? We need those single dollars. And if you don't like looking at our ugly mugs, you can follow us wherever you find your fine podcasts in audio format. Though I doubt this one will be as funny without seeing our faces. But, you know. And until next time, you know, I'll boil you around.
I'll see. I'll blow out your colon around.
I'll tell you what I told my best friend. I'll wrestle you in front of the engine.
They'll tell us if we're getting too close to the engine. We'll feel it. We'll be fine. Oh. Perfect. All right. Oh my God.